Brother. Alright, hello. Hello to all my guys, gals, and non-binary pals out there across the electrical ocean. This is Jasmine, and we are back with a game. We've got full faction underdepths for Nepallyon here. And then Mr. Krezio playing full faction SL as always. The SL version of Hijmak. We all know him, love him, and or hate him to be. So he's going to have Basilisk Templar grabbing the font. Still fairly early in this game here, nothing major. I'm guessing this is just going to be meta from both sides. Not seeing anything particularly crazy. I know Krezio, I mean, let's be real, Krezio has the reputation of infamy among all of us, especially on the Discord. I see people there not saying too many nice things about Mr. Krezio. I'm one of them. And I've always been one of them. I don't like how Krezio plays, but he might have a little bit of trouble here. Well, actually, no, he didn't take immunity on the Templar. Is that still an option? Man, I've been out of it for way too long. But he's going to leave the banner in the font here, which is a little strange in my estimation, just because like Nep can easily just one round that. I think if it was any other like champion other than a demonologist who comes in with the pet, the banner might have been a little decent stalling play. I'm thinking he just did that to avoid getting swarmed here somehow. Not wanting to risk his early game falling to pieces, being reduced to atoms. And in the face of early underdepths aggression, you kind of have to play slow and safe, just so that you don't get run over and, you know, it doesn't really turn into a real game. But what does Templar do these days? Instigate? Bruh, you gotta be shitting me here. What do you get? Charge. This used to be an upgrade, by the way. Scale armor and instigate now. Okay. I mean, charge kind of makes sense. I guess instigate is like Draxar synergy. If you wanna be that way. He doesn't have attack psychic anymore, which I don't know. I get the reason it was added, because with physical attack you can't actually like solo with petrifying gaze anymore. I guess that's fine. Like it's a nerf any way you look at it. But I mean, psychic attack would get around the immunity physical here, and it would basically make him too difficult to deal with in 1v1s. I'm sure that was the logic. But he still has his quest, he still has Slothful. And Brood Queen in the back. Now I'm excited to see Brood Queen, because Brood Queen, even when Krezio is running a man, I might have had some suggestions in mind for Brood Queen back when she was buffed. And looking at her now, I mean, she still has Invig 2, her usual thing, but it comes at a slightly cheaper price. So you're not like hurting for Nora, because SL sort of had this problem where none of their supports were like look at Iron Fist Stronghold, for example. They have a ton of cheap supports, like less than 70 Nora. All the Invig 2 champs are like 65 Nora for them. Then KF has a bunch of good cheap supports. The Protectorate factions in general tend to have those, whereas in other Wrath non-FW factions, that doesn't seem to be the case. But Sundered Lands, historically lacking in terms of good support units, and now Brood Queen is safely placed among the ranks of good ones. Invigorate 2, of course, standard, and then Dragonic Force, Krezio has chosen. Is that a quickening? I was expecting some kind of power turn, but that, they have defenseless? Okay, so he doesn't get bonus. He held the line here. I would have assumed the better play would have been to run into melee instead of holding the line, because now you don't get the bonus damage. That actually causes the missed kill. Yeah, definitely not holding the line would have been a better choice. I mean, here you can just eat the defensive strike with the imp, and then the demonologist. Wow, and Krezio, that literally cost Krezio the game. Okay, well played, Nepallyon. You really showed him. So we're gonna hop into the next one. Yeah, that hold the line was very suspicious. He had the more than enough AP to abuse defenseless there. I guess he just didn't calculate very hard. But I think someone has told me before that Krezio is not a person who enjoys long games, and if he doesn't win early, then he just kind of leaves, which I guess that happened. But we're going to be watching this one now. Night King, repping full faction SL, and then Can Killa 12, playing full faction Kathir Forest. Man, what did Cans ever do to you, huh? What is the lore behind that name? I have never met a Can that I could not kick and get out of my face if necessary. This guy might have had like a traumatizing incident in the past, with a can of soda, and he is sworn lifelong vengeance against all cans. Maybe he's just a big fan of plastic. He likes the plastic water bottles. You guys ever so this is one thing that's hilarious to me. At least here in Canada, we have this thing where being environmentally conscious as we are, so whenever we have bags of bread now, the bags of bread come with cardboard tabs, like bag holders to keep them closed. But the bag itself is still plastic. I don't understand, like, why would you make that little piece of plastic tag is not going to be doing as much as the bag of bread itself for the environment. So I don't know why not just replace the bag. And oh look, we're saving so many trees by replacing this one little piece of plastic on our bag. It's the same thing with plastic straws, I've found. Like, why, like, you have a plastic cup and then they just slide the paper straw in there, and it's like, we did it. There we go. We did our job. We saved the environment. But that's just another thing that about the modern world that confuses me. I'm not a Luddite. I just some of the corporate decisions I don't understand. Maybe I'm not CEO enough to grasp their logic. But we're gonna have a Brambles here from Cankilla. I don't know why. His Menelaus is blinded, and the Ensnare doesn't really do anything because Lord can just Flame Strike. I find it hilarious that Lord has Flame Strike now after Kakios' Blade. I think it changed to not have Flame Strike anymore? Or maybe it just gives Flame Strike to Draxar. Maybe that was the change. But yeah, Akakios, of course, so the lore behind Draxar Lord is that he's supposed to be Akakios, and he's holding Akakios' blade. This is way back in like 2007 era Pox Nora, when the lore wasn't fully established, and they were like, oh, Lich King is totally Sirkin. And yeah, Draxar Lord is totally Akakios, and they tried to pull a sneaky on us. But yeah, so he's holding his own blade, and he gives him Flame Strike. So that was the logic behind that change, I guess. I don't know, I think that's lamer logic than giving, like, Defiler Knight Defiling Aura. Which, I mean, sure, it makes sense, but, you know, why? Does he need it? So yeah, we're going to see a stun here. I'm assuming on the Draxar Lord. Yep. And that does give a little buff to the Pursuer in close. I don't know, I think, I would have stunned the Pursuer. Yeah, because, I mean, Draxar Lord has used his Flame Strike. I think, like, and you're attacking into guarded, obviously. But Pursuer here is kind of, I don't know, is kind of the bigger threat. Since Draxar Lord, you can just kind of walk around the font and ignore and, you know, kite him around as a big fatty that he is. But it looks like Can is actually leaving. No, he's going to swap the Wind Sprinter, of course. I was looking at that Wind Sprinter thinking, oh, that would be such an awesome champion to send topside. But I guess Draxar Archer, okay, so he does have precision, so maybe not, maybe not. Yeah, the Wind Sprinter now in a finally more or less balanced state. Still has the 8 speed, very much appreciated, but he lost a little bit of damage, a little bit of HP, and Quest Runner got nerfed. So not nearly as much of a nuisance as he used to be. And honestly, if I were that Pursuer, maybe you get a kill here with, yeah, Firestorm. But I would have, if not, I would have advised saving the AP and just leaping into that font on the following turn. But I don't know, 55 Nora for a Mena kill. You're not going to grab the Globe, but it's probably worth it at this stage. And yeah, you do have the Archer in the back with precision to deal with Wind Sprinter. This is what I mean, like, this is not the ideal for Wind Sprinter. Wind Sprinter really needs a 1v1, or at the very least, a 1v2 with no precision. And, I mean, taking charge is fine. I would personally prefer Domain Veg, because it gives him, like, mobility for running around with Zephyr Shield. But charge does give him 1 stack of Zephyr Shield on its own. And I guess technically it's pseudo-disengage if your opponent positions weirdly. Like, you can, if you're engaged, you can charge to something over here and disengage, but then you're just engaged again, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, Cankilla has a little bit of catching up to do. Menelaus, in hindsight, probably not the best early deploy. Like, I'm assuming he deployed him first to get this font and then went, you know, over here. But that's definitely not what you want. Like, as in the early game, Menelaus is way too much of a hit to your Nora reserves. You need something a little bit cheaper just so you can get more bodies on the board. Early game, bodies on the board is usually more important than having one big powerful guy. But like on this map in particular, ranged units don't really do as well as melee, because like if you're ranged, you kind of have no escape routes because of all the lava and, you know, the chasm around the font. Like your ranged unit literally just gets rushed unless it has leap or something. And then like you have no real outs unless you have another champion waiting to swap it with. And because of the narrow pathways, it tends to leave few options if you get cornered. So not a good place for Menelaus to be, especially because he has like 5 minimum range, and it's even harder to keep melee out of his face. But there is a a protection on the Wind Sprinter here. So a Fire Eater off the Rocketeer. That's really not going to do anything though. Draxar Archer was really the one you wanted to get the Eater from. But Night King, perhaps suspecting the precision, attacked with the Rocketeer first. And Draxar Lord is, he's not quite able to finish, but the Pursuer can if he wants. Could also maybe leap towards this font, drop a relic. But it looks like he is going to he's just going to consolidate and take control of mid, grab that globe, and then maybe threaten this bottom font as well. Leap is such a useful, okay, well, he's not going to do it now. He wasted all his AP, but if he saved it, he could have threatened a relic contest on that bot font. And then, you know, Draxar Lord, he's chunky enough that he can survive 1v2 for a bit until the ranged units back here catch up. So there's Grimlick's Bane. Second Grimlick's Bane. So, okay, well, Cankiller really wanted that Draxar Lord dead, I guess. And Bowmage, he actually wisely does a Lightning Storm to avoid proccing the Guarded. And then I'm guessing Ranger Elite. Okay, he's not going to grab the globe. He's just going to go in for a basic attack. That's a lot of Nora. Firestorm. See, the Firestorm was good because it was only 55. But spending 80 Nora just to kill the Lord and not even grab the globe. Like, here, Night King can leap and grab the globe and still attack. And maybe even kill that Ranger Elite. If he does like a quickening or something to grab like a double Sunder onto the Ranger Elite, and then Pursuer can get a hit. Rocketeer can get a hit. It might be enough for a kill, but it looks like he's not gonna. He's just gonna keep up the deploys. Should have Sundered first, of course, but you know, it's only Sunder 1. No biggie. So Rocketeer, is he gonna put up aim? I would assume not, because he doesn't really need the extra precision against all of this. Cankilla has cast quite a few spells, and he's really feeling it in terms of Nora, I'm sure. Because here, I mean, it's tough because you see a kill with the spell and you really want to go for it, but you're not. In my mind, what's happening here? What was that spell that just got played? No, that was Blood of the Dragon. Okay, so a cast from the High Priest. But yeah, in my mind, whenever I see someone do a play like that, it's like they're not thinking far enough ahead. Basically, he got the kill, sure, but... And then the turn after he gets this one, but look at the board right now. Yeah, you got the Lord. Your reinforcements are really far away. You got a dead Ranger Elite on your hands, and Bowmage not far off. Like, you don't have the positional flexibility to really take advantage of that kill with the spells. And you wasted a lot of Nora doing that. You're not gaining control of any key resources, like the mid-font. And then meanwhile, Night King is just deploy, and keeping up in Nora. Because he's been getting more of the Nora globes from these deaths. So he's going to get this kill here. He backed the Archer off a little bit far, in my estimation. He probably could have actually gotten the kill first. Wait, is he not going to... Why did he move his... Okay, he's going to get the kill with the dot on the Scouring Jasper, but that was pretty close. I don't know. See, I would have gotten the kill with the Rocketeer instead of moving the Rocketeer in, and then like you could have moved into the font with the Archer, you know, and then just kept that there because the Rocketeer was back here, like he was in range to get that attack. But I guess that works. I mean, the Archer is not going to do much next turn with its AP. You could maybe just grab the globe. And then here, Bowmage, I would not want to contest versus this range power here. The Wisp can, but the problem with Wisp is that it doesn't have like any tankiness anymore. It doesn't have one with Nora. It doesn't have like Evasive or anything. It doesn't even have Soul Sift upgraded. He has Adaptive on both of these. And I mean, the way Cankill has been casting spells, I'm assuming that's sort of his thing. But Adaptive was also nerfed in like the latest patch, so now it's only 3 max HP. Can we finally can we finally say that Adaptive is dead? Can we just be like, okay, Adaptive isn't worth it anymore, let's, you know, not bother playing it from this point forward? But yeah, it seems like Bowmage taking some more damage from that bomb, or, you know, from the Scour and then the Burst. So yeah, I was never a fan of Adaptive. I didn't like the playstyle. I don't like just throwing down spells whenever... because the game is meant to be played with your champions, right? Spells, relics, equips are auxiliary. But it seems like, man, that High Priest really wants the extra 6 HP. He's walking right into the lava in order to do that. And man, Centurion walks over the lava. That space is lava, by the way. That is a damaging terrain. You cannot walk over it under any circumstances. It's like, I'm memeing, but I actually don't see people do this enough. It's like it's lava. But if you can get a kill by walking onto lava terrain, I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do, right? So here's another spell, as expected, from the Adaptive player. Did he Magic Bomb last turn? No, he did not. Nothing has... Well, actually, it wouldn't have the debuff anymore. I'm assuming he didn't. Yeah, there's the bomb. So that's a pretty good bomb. It hits everything, and then Bowmage can... I think Lightning Storm is back up at this point. Which it is, okay. So I guess... So weakened spells is kind of a problem here. But the High Priest is dead. It'll die. Man, it'll actually die to the lava. So walking onto the lava did not really pay off this time. So Nature's Wrath out of the picture, and then Herbal Antidote, I guess just for kicks. He didn't need the cleanse or anything, and even a Transfigure purely because Cankilla needs the bodies on the board right now. So I still wouldn't be worried. Like if I were Night King, I'd be like, oh sweet, he just put himself in a 25 Nora hole when he's behind on the board, and he's getting, you can get the Flame Strike there. It's weird he actually takes Flame Strike on the Rocketeer. I would probably favor like Radiant Blow, but I guess Flame Burst is good when you get rushed by a melee guy and you gotta disengage. So there's a proper use of spells. Tornado, finishing that guy, grounding the wisps so they can't escape over the lava and the cliff. Then put the finishing hit into that one. Nexus Aura, I think, was up. At least one of... Yeah, because they both took damage. And then not quite enough to finish this one, but there's a... Okay, Channeled Violence after he makes the attacks. So, sure. I don't know, that doesn't seem worth the Nora at all. Like, you're getting Enrage, like, you're not going to be getting attacked here by this Wisp. Yeah, he definitely should have cast that Channeled Violence before making his attacks, because it gives multi, so you'd be saving AP, right? But the Rocketeer dies to the dots, and there's a Thorn Collection. Okay, you got 2 champions in play, my man. I don't know about any more spells at this point. He can get this globe because he was cleansed, and he does have mobility from the font, so he can do like, he can get that globe, grab this globe, and maybe deploy a cheap guy, but doesn't look like he's just gonna sit over here by this font. And see now, I mean, but the problem now is that it opens up the relic contest from Centurion. Honestly, I think if you relic contest here with the Centurion, you probably just win the game off that. Because Archer kills the Wisp. Oh no, he's short 1 AP for the double attack. I'd probably still relic contest. Like, winning mid isn't as valuable as taking this side font, because the Avatar just runs into mid, and this side font has literally nothing defending it. You could probably just get those globes with the Lord next turn anyway. So there's Daddy Dreadnought coming into play. Dreadnought has... Okay, well, I was going to talk about Dreadnought, but Night King takes the game there. I'll talk about him in the next one, promise. So well played to everyone involved, and we'll see y'all in the next video.